A group of Seattle women is raising money and shining light on a growing problem on the streets, child sex trafficking. Teresa Ewan has more on StolenYouth's mission to build much-needed shelters for underage victims being sold online and on the street.
Advocate groups like StolenYouth are very concerned. They say there's just 8 dedicated beds here in Seattle at a shelter specifically for minors who are being exploited. Now, the group says this is not nearly enough when you consider there's about 500 kids living on the streets of Seattle.
When I was 14, a guy that lived by my bus stop, he would always try to approach me and talk to me and put me in a different mindset. That resulted in him trapping me and pimping me and had me do things that I never would want to have done as a child.
Survivors of human trafficking describe being controlled and trapped through violence and threats against them and their families. A troubling statistic finds that right now the average age of girls being trafficked is 13 years old, and police officers say they see girls from all backgrounds. The internet is also having a huge impact on how these predators do business and making the trade even more convenient for customers. So the vision of StolenYouth is really to raise enough money to build a home here in Seattle to help get these victimized children off of the streets and into counseling.
And I think this is a movement to do the same thing that we did 20 years ago for domestic violence. You know, these kids are victims. They're not criminals. We need to protect them, and they need to know they have a place to go.
We are seeing a positive trend. According to the King County Prosecutor's Office, in the past 5 years, they've been really going after the customers. So the number of minors being charged with prostitution is going down. That's the graphic in blue, while the number of men charged with the crime is going up, as shown in red. StolenYouth says that they are hopeful, but there's still a lot of work to be done, specifically raising money and also working with partners in order to get a shelter built here in Seattle specifically for minors. In Seattle, I'm Teresa Ewan, King5 News.
The victim